Peeps of YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kat and you're watching Planning Calm. And here in this channel, I love to share with you all the many ways I can help you plan your way to calm and plan a calmer life. In this video, I want to address a topic that I have been getting some messages about on my TikTok and on my Instagram. And if you're not following me there, I'll leave it up here. It's Planning Calm. I would love for you to DM me with a video request or a topic request that you'd like me to discuss here on the channel. I would love to do that and follow along so you can see my Planning Calm journey on those platforms. And I have been getting messages about this topic, and that is the unrealistic expectations that we see in the planner community. And I thought we should talk about it. So if you have a cup of tea, coffee, water, juice, Gatorade, whatever, I don't judge. Come along and sit and chat and listen. And we're going to talk about unrealistic expectations in the planner community. I want to preface this video by saying this is not meant to be a disrespectful, this is a complete disclaimer. This is not meant to belittle or to disrespect or any of that stuff, disclaimers information. I'm not here to try to make people feel bad about how they plan. Planning has always been, in my opinion, a personal endeavor. So you plan the way you want to. If you want lots of this and lots of that, fill your boots, honey. But what we're talking about in this video today is the unrealistic expectations that people feel being a part of the planner community and having to kind of keep up with the Joneses, if you will, in regards to being a part of this community of planners. And so I thought we would talk about a couple of those things. And we're going to dive into it. So again, not meant to offend anybody. Okay, that's not my intention. My intention is to bring this topic to the surface so we can have a frank discussion about it and talk about it however we want. In the comments below, I would love for you to share your opinions, share your thoughts. It's a safe space. Don't worry about if anybody doesn't agree with you. I want to hear from you. So all opinions matter. Just leave them in the comments down below. So let's get into it. So the first unrealistic expectation that I've seen on social media, and when I talk about social media, I'm talking about the big ones, the YouTube, the Instagram, and the TikTok. Typically, when you go on those platforms, social media platforms, and you see planners in their element, you see a lot of things that may look normal, but may not always be the case for most people in the planner community. And so that's why it's an unrealistic expectation. So the first one is, number one, every spread should look like a piece of art. Now, I know you know what I'm talking about, and no shade to those creators who are doing beautiful things in their spreads. But the notion of the highly curated, perfect layouts with the beautiful handwriting and the layered stickers and the balanced color palettes all looking beautiful and coordinated, thinking that's the norm is not a good thing, because it's not the norm. That's not how most people plan. What you see online, what you see on social media is kind of like the polished version of planning. And it's not how most people plan. So if you're looking at that and you're thinking, oh, why doesn't my planner look like this? Why don't I have this? Why can't I do that? That's not the norm, baby. It's an unrealistic expectation that your planner should look like that. That's just not happening. In reality, most people don't have the time, the energy, and the desire to turn daily planning into an art project or to turn their planning into a work of art. It's just not realistic for most people. Most people are, busy in either their career, their family, their own personal endeavors. And if you're feeling like your planning is not, coming up to par or not in keeping with what you see online, don't feel that way, because what you see online is not realistic. It's included. I do those layouts as well. Do I do them every week? No, I don't, because I don't have the time, I don't have the patience, and I don't have the the mental wherewithal or the bandwidth at times to, create those spreads. But those who do, fill your boots, honey. I love them. They're beautiful. But if you're sitting there thinking that you don't measure up because yours don't look like that, don't worry about it. It's not a realistic endeavor to pursue. My next Number two, unrealistic expectation that I see in the planner community is that consistency is effortless. Now, I struggle with this a lot because there are times where I cannot get myself together. As much as I love planning, as much as I love being in my notebook planner or in my Sterling in Common planner, I do realize that daily spreads, daily updates, or plan with me content on a strict schedule looks easy online, but in reality, behind the scenes, it's not always possible. It requires a lot of planning. Go figure. It requires batching and redoing pages and planning content. And it's difficult when you also have to live a life as well. So you're spending a lot of time trying to perfect your planning game and you're trying to make everything look pretty, but at the same time, it's really difficult to be consistent when you have, a job, when you have kids, when you have illnesses, when you have people in your life who require you or need you for things. And the fact that you can't be consistent all the time with your planning can lead to feeling guilty or unfulfilled or unaccomplished or like you're a procrastinator. And that's not the case. Again, seeing those consistent spreads online or on social media is not always a realistic depiction of what it's like to plan in real life. And so my rule of thumb is to give yourself grace, friends. A few days in your planner, that's okay. Go back, pick up where you left off, back plan if you have to, do whatever. But just know that with planning, it's your time, it's your space, it's your place to do it as you will. And if you can't be consistent, that's okay. Just jump back into it and keep on planning, when you have the time to do it. So this third one, number three, an unrealistic expectation in the planner community is you need to have a huge collection of supplies. And guilty. I have been a part of the planner community for as long as social media has been involved. I was like, oh my goodness, these are my people. I love the fact that there's other people out there who like to, organize and plan their supplies and all that good stuff. And being a teacher, or hopefully a former teacher, I am used to being around a lot of supplies, a lot of stationery, a lot of all that kind of stuff. And so it just went hand in hand, being a stationery nerd, being an educator, boom, 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 boom. And what you have is situations like this and that, where you have a lot of supplies. And this is nothing, y'all. I got supplies placed all over my office here, but I have a lot of supplies. Social feeds can make it seem like you need the endless washi tape, the stickers, the inserts, the pens, all the pens, the highlighters, the markers, etc. The Tombos, the precious Tombos. They make you feel like you need all of those things to be a real planner. And that's just not the case. Honestly, and I've talked about this on my channel a lot, ad nauseum even, about just keeping your planning simple. And by keeping your planning simple allows you to plan more calmly and more effectively. So, just having a functional, simple notebook. I talk about my notebook planners on the channel a lot here, where you just get a dollar store notebook and turn it into a planner. And all you need is a pen or a pencil and you are just fine. You don't need all the fancy bells and whistles to be an effective planner or to plan your way to calm. And I really want to, rein that in and bring that home, because a lot of times people feel so inadequate because they don't have the popular planner or the popular fountain pen or the popular whatever the case is that everybody's talking about. And you feel like you're missing out or FOMO because you don't have those things. But your way to calm doesn't always include getting what everybody else has. It's finding ways, effective, efficient, budget-friendly ways for you to plan so that you can feel more calm in your life. So don't worry about all those collections of things and having all the latest, greatest things. I mean, I enjoy doing that, and I spend whatever discretionary income I make in my job on those things because I love it. But if you're just a regular everyday person who just wants to plan and you don't have a planner content and you don't have all that stuff, you don't need all that stuff. Just stick to your simple pens and your notebook and you are good to go. Number 4, your planner should reflect a perfect organized life. Now, many accounts that you see on social media gives you that depiction where it's just, they present planners as clean, structured, fully complete. Real life is not like that. Real life is messy, friends. If you have kids in your house, or a man for that matter, then you know, no shade on men. I love my man, honey. I love my man. But you know that real life is messy. Oh my gosh, you just clean and 2 seconds later it's messy. What the dealio? But anyway, real life is messy, and there are missed tasks that happen. There are crossed out plans that happen in the planner. There are blank pages, and that's a normal thing because you don't have time. You may not have time to, fix up a page every single day. That's normal. And, having that, perfectly looking, perfectly organized life in a planner is not realistic, friends. It's not realistic. And, planners are messy. Sometimes you just got to scratch things out. Sometimes you got to, move things over. And, sometimes people get stressed about that because it's like, darn it, my planner isn't looking pretty. I want it to look pretty, but you're forgetting that you're living in real life, and real life is messy. So show yourself some grace, friends. And I'm laughing because I'm such a perfectionist, and I'm, trying to get over my perfectionist tendencies. And so, that's why I love my notebook planners, because I can just scratch it out. I don't have to worry about it being pretty. I don't have to worry about being organized, and just call it a day, because, there's no point in feeling stressed out about those things when at the end of the day, it's not a big deal if you have a messy planner. It's a tool. Use it to organize your life and move on. Last, unrealistic expectation number 5, is that planning will make you productive all the time. And I can honestly say that's so unrealistic. I don't know what it is, but there is an inexplicit promise that the right system, the right layout will fix your procrastination or whatever burnout that you have. I don't know why that's there, but it is. And it's just not realistic. Planning can help. It definitely can help if you're somebody who's feeling overwhelmed and you want to, kind of get your life together and get yourself in line. Planning is a great way to do that, whether in a notebook or in a proper planner, etc. So planning can help, but what planning doesn't do is that it doesn't override the motivation, the mental health, and other external circumstances that may cause you to not be able to be as productive as you want to be. Like when life is happening and you just want to shut down, and sometimes you need to shut down. Your body is saying, look, I know you want to be all up in that planner, cat. I know you want to do this. I know you want to do that. But what you really need to do is rest because you're burnt out, or you need to rest because you're sick, or you need to rest because your mental health needs some repair. I have to listen to that. And instead of feeling guilty and instead of feeling unaccomplished or that I'm procrastinating or whatever the things I, put on myself is, I just realized that that is part of my productivity. Taking care of myself is part of being productive. And I never really understood that because I've always been somebody who has given to my family, given to my husband, given to my students, given to my school. I'm such a giver that in the end, sometimes you just don't got nothing to give. You just got nothing to give because you've been giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and you are exhausted. And I find myself in that position right now. Comment down below if you can relate. But at the end of the day, what you have to do is you have to really just show yourself some grace with this, friends. And the unrealistic expectation that, by planning, you can be productive and will be productive, and that the perfect plan or the perfect system or whatever is going to be the answer to your life. That's just not the case. The answer to your life could simply be, taking better care of yourself. Or more specifically, in my case, is leaning into your faith, leaning into loved ones, taking care of things that you've neglected because you've been so busy, those type of things. So I just thought, food for thought. I have so many of these unrealistic expectations. If you're interested in watching more, I would love for you to give this video a thumbs up. I feel like I'm rambling, but it's really important to have these discussions because as women, because I know a lot of women are part of the planner community and men as well. Don't want to leave anybody out. I just know that a lot of times we feel so inadequate with who we are as people. And a lot of times whatever we kind of lean into in terms of like our hobby, our interests, we want to give it our all. We want to, pour our heart and soul into it. And by doing that, a lot of times it lends itself to comparing yourself with other people, feelings of FOMO, all the things. And I have to remind you, as I remind myself, because I'm part of this community as well, that you are your own individual person and you can plan the way you want to and have that satisfaction, bring more calm to your life, feel more productive, and accomplish all the things. And just because it may not look like what everybody else is doing online doesn't make it bad. It makes it your own individual thing, and that's okay. So with that said, I'm going to leave you to it. Again, comment down below and let me know your honest feedback, your honest comments. I appreciate them. Let's have a conversation, friends. I love to hear from you. And until the next video, take care, be well, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye, planner peeps.